on in. It's going to be another episode 88. Trucking right along 2 days a week is actually doing pretty good.
I wonder if Pooh's going to actually show up.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. He's unemployed with us.
Without a wrench.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Yeah, he show up without a wrench. He'll be okay. Episode 88. First and frame rates, chugging right along as usual. This is a really good day. There's a lot of topics that we can expound upon, not only what we have in the title. There's a lot of ad-libbing that could take place. So if we go this, that, and the third, that's fine. You guys come through and listen, let us know what you think. Also, my Georgia Southern Eagles, yes, the 1-3 lowly Georgia Southern Eagles, not up to par what they're normally doing.
Those sorry-ass Georgia Southern Eagles.
Well, we're not going to go there. We don't have to do all that. We don't have to do all of that.
We don't have to.
Anyway,
but I mean,
Yeah. You go sit on the sideline with your poo-poo potty talking about my Eagles. I'm not
Fuck
gonna
them
do that
Eagles.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the Philadelphia ones. I know.
Fuck that.
And they're playing tonight, so I get to watch them while we do the podcast. And what is going on, everybody? Bills, what's up with you, man?
I'm just noticing Noble's in the chat. Pretty sure he was absent on Tuesday, but whatever. We were considering giving you a wrench. No, just joking, we weren't. But I'm
available.
We do have a wrench available. We have a new job opening. We put it up on Indeed.com. For
somebody missed 3. Somebody missed damn near 3 episodes, but we're not going to go there.
We had a bunch of no-call, no-shows, but he wants to pop up in the chat now, trying to get back in our good graces, but it's whatever. I'm just prepping to record this weekend, so that's what I'm doing.
We don't need your permission. We just do what we feel like. And yeah, you were gone for all that time.
You guys are never wrong to have more than one mod. Yo, we do. You're just not one of them.
Right. I was about to say, that's already been established. We have more than one. You just aren't included in that.
Right. DJ, what's been going on with you, man?
Well, just I know this week I've been playoff watching due with the WNBA Mystics. Latest on that, Deladon has a herniated disc, so the Mystics are in trouble in this finals. The Nationals, they won their wild card game, so they get to face the Dodgers tonight around like 8:00. So and then the Capitals played yesterday. So I can't ask for a better week as far as sports and playoffs and the beginning of a new hockey season. So
right.
And by the way, if you don't watch baseball, don't start out by saying I don't really watch baseball and then say some dumb shit about the playoff system because you just make yourself. I mean, you're a fan of football, but then you complain about there being single elimination in baseball when technically these teams don't really have to make it in at all. But whatever. I'm not gonna.
Right. Okay. So, what's going on, everybody in the chat? If you don't know, now you know. And if you're going to know, if you don't know, you're going to know again. iTunes and SoundCloud, you can catch us there if you don't catch us live. There's always downloaded about an hour after we finish live streaming. And you can listen to us at your leisure. You can be your own program director. You can program the show anytime you like and listen to it anytime you like. So that's down in the description anywhere that you are listening to us, either YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud. Hell, even if you stream it on the Twitter page, you will find where we do have links for you to listen to the show. A lot of topics going on. Madden 20 just dropped an update. Vontaze Burfict is out for the season with his way of playing defense. Pass interference challenges. Are they going the way it's intended, or is it just a nuisance? Do they need to get rid of them? And also, college football, the playoff is pretty much not really on the horizon, but there's been a few takes as far as who should be in under certain scenarios. And I know Bill's wanted to talk about that, so we'll add that on as well. Any of these topics y'all want to go first, you guys can take the pick, and we'll just run from there.
Well, we said we are going to do the picks first, right? So we can get that pick for the
yeah. We always do the picks, but I'm sorry to say that. We do our pick. We do have NFL picks every week. We do the picks, and then we do the results from the following week. That is not a part of the title, but that's what we do in general. So we're going to start with that, and then I guess you guys can pick whatever topic you want to start with first. So
now when we
go ahead, Bill. Go ahead, DJ. Go ahead.
Now when we do these picks, we're just instead of doing a synopsis after every pick, why don't we just pick them and then to save the synopsis for when we do the results on the Tuesday show.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more interesting when we give the synopsis, though.
Yeah, it kind of give the viewers and the listeners a reason why we make the pick. So I mean, I think it's been flowing pretty well either way. So I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, I was just thinking about the amount of topics we had. That's all.
No, that's true too. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because a couple of these we won't really spend that much time on. Like the college football thing.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
All right.
So we can make it happen. Bills, what are we starting with?
All right, so let's start with the Thursday night game. We have the Rams and the Seahawks.
Okay, and that one we're going to talk. We're going to make that pick, and we're going to talk about that pick on Tuesday.
Yeah, so I mean,
gotcha. Okay,
I don't know. I think I got the Seahawks.
Yeah, I got the Rams on this one.
Rams and Seahawks. Rams laid an egg this past week against the Bucks. This is gonna be tough, but the Seahawks don't look that good on defense either. So I'll probably take the Rams. I think the Rams will pull this one off.
Okay.
It's something about the Seahawks just don't look. They don't look like they're motivated to play. They haven't been playing good ball.
I mean, they got back to what they were supposed to be doing last week. Obviously, it was against the Cardinals, but any momentum's good momentum. And I'm just kind of looking at it as a momentum game. The Rams have.
This is going to show. This is going to tell us what I mean, everybody want to talk about the coach of the Rams and he's all that because of the season that he had last year. But this is really going to tell you a little inkling about the coach in general when he does what he does with this game. So
right.
I'm still going to pick the Rams, but yeah, I'm taking the Rams.
All right, so then we got the Jets at the Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles easily with that one because I still I don't think he's coming back. So
unless the Eagles plan on laying an egg,
that would be bad. You lose to the third string.
A lot of people want to say the Eagles laid an egg against the Lions, but to be honest with you, the Lions might be better than average.
There wasn't an egg to be laid on that one. That's just Detroit's a good.
That's
team.
what I'm saying. I think the Lions are better than advertised, but that's another time for another day.
I could be real petty. Never mind.
Hey, Bills, your boy's back.
That's why I said I could be real petty, but I'm not gonna do it.
Let it breathe.
No, he announced himself.
Yeah, he did. Patriots and the Redskins. I got the Patriots pretty easily here.
Yeah, I'm taking the Patriots. It may be a little. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I'm taking.
I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a crazy blowout. I guess he's like 21-3.
I'm gonna go against my better judgment and go with the Skins on this one.
Okay.
Only reason I'm saying it is because I want to see the result of the videos that Tom Brady has been doing every week ever since last year. Yeah. I want to see how he feels after a loss. So I'm just gonna go with the Skins on this one. Other than that, I would normally pick the Patriots, but I just want to see.
Yusuf said, "Who's winning the prediction?" I'd have to tabulate that, but I mean, I did pretty well week one.
I know you pretty much said that. I know you said for the most part everybody's doing pretty good with them.
Yeah, everybody's doing pretty good. I would say the only week that was kind of bad for y'all would be week one because a lot of the ones that I was kind of alone on, just going on a limb, I got those right, and then the short shots ended up being wrong. Right. But other than that, I mean, no, we've been pretty consistent. It wasn't really a competition. We're just
making picks.
So the next game is the Cardinals and the Bengals. Honestly, who gives a fuck? First off,
did the Cardinals win a game yet?
No, they're 0-3-1, and neither of the Bengals.
I'm taking the Cardinals.
So technically, the Cardinals have half won a game, but they also lost that same game. So
I'm still taking the Cardinals.
I got the Bengals, man.
I got the Bengals in this one. I'm not siding with a 5'7" quarterback ever again.
I got the Bengals. I can't bring myself to I can't bring myself to pick the Cardinals, especially on the road. Yeah, no. Yusuf says, what's the point if you're not going to tally? I mean, if this is something that everybody wants us to do, if y'all want us to keep score, that's fine. But we're kind of just doing it because it's a topic that a lot of people are interested in us discussing each week.
People want us to talk about the picks. It's not necessarily who wins or lose. I mean,
we didn't put money in a pot like,
right.
Right.
I mean, listen. I mean, we're already winning because we're the best podcast out there. I mean,
that chat is just an adversarial chat. They want to pit people against each other. That's just what they do.
You know how that is.
Yeah, that's true. They've been trying to do that since the NWO days. But anyway,
that's another L they can hold.
Bills and Titans. This is a hard one. I think I'm taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills. The Bills play very. You know what? The Bills play very well against the Patriots. The Patriots did not do that well offensively, and I give a lot of respect to the Bills for playing good football. And I think they'll beat the Titans.
I think they will lay an egg. Titans.
What?
Will win.
Yeah, because I mean, my thing is,
if anything, the quarterback may, but not the team. I don't see the team.
Well, here's the thing.
If they lose, it'll be because of the quarterback.
The main reason I'm taking the Bills is because they have a defense that travels. And I think if you can get the Titans into a defensive game, I think Josh Allen can figure out a way to put up at least 10 points.
I can believe that.
If they can't get Derrick Henry going, which honestly is on my fantasy team, I hope they do. I just don't see a way that they beat the Bills because their passing game is so pedestrian. They do have Jones. They got him going last week, but we'll see. I think it can go either way. The next game is the Bears and the Raiders. I got the Bears on the fucking land, so I think Khalil Mack's going to come in with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, I got the Bears on that one too.
I don't see any way the Raiders win this game. Unless Mitch Trubisky is so incredibly...
Isn't he still hurt?
Oh, shit, he is. So Chase Daniel...
Doesn't matter because apparently the offense looks better without him.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, well, we all got the Bears there. I don't
because isn't it Chase Daniels?
Chase Daniel, yeah.
Yeah, I've always liked him. I remember when we drafted him
too.
And never really gave him a chance. I'm like, shoot, we've given Colts so many chances, but yet we only gave Chase Daniels like one option.
And he suffered from just being behind really good starters.
Except in Washington.
Yeah.
And he still suffered.
Yeah. Buccaneers and the Saints. I got the Bucs, man.
Really? At Saints?
I got the Bucs, yeah.
I'm taking the Saints.
DJ?
I have flipped a coin on this one because you got Saints in that dome, and you're hoping that Byron Leftwich calls a good game.
I mean, I'm just looking at the fact that
Saints.
Okay. Because I'm just looking at the
Buccaneers defense. The Buccaneers defense show up, it could be a problem. But I'm
looking at the fact they put up. Whoa, what the hell is going on here?
Well,
oh, okay. I thought it was like a outage or something. It's a 7-inning stretch.
Yeah, you're watching the baseball.
Yeah, I looked up. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh yeah, they like their glow sticks in Atlanta apparently.
But I mean, I think the thing is going to be they put up 55 points last week against a damn good defense. So Byron Leftwich has been calling some really good games.
Yeah, but that's not typical of Tampa Bay.
It's not, but what is typical of New Orleans is having bad home losses. So I'm gonna say this is gonna be their one this year. I think that's gonna be the bad home loss against the Bucs, but we'll see. Vikings and the Giants. I'm gonna keep with the Giants, man. I'm gonna keep with the Giants.
I'll take the Giants as well.
I'm
taking the Giants on that one.
Yeah,
I'm looking at all that drama building in Minnesota, and it all circles around Kirk Cousins just not being the quarterback that they thought he was going to be, that everyone else knew he was going to be.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah. He can't. He's not. He's a safe quarterback. That's all he knows.
Honestly, I think the issue there is that Adam Thielen's taking over as the number one on that team.
Well,
I think Diggs has a huge problem.
See, that's the thing. I don't think the problem is between the receivers. The problem is the receivers versus the quarterback. I'm like,
I don't know.
If you got a quarterback that's not that the coach can't rely on to call mostly passing plays, and I kind of knew this when he was with the Redskins. You want to run the ball to protect Kirk Cousins from having to be put in situations where he has to take risks. I'm like, perfect conversation, perfect example.
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins. It was a conversation between Kirk Cousins and Jay Gruden, 2 years ago.
I already know.
Jay's asking. One of the times I will side with Jay on this one. He asks. He employs Kirk Cousins to take a few chances, here and there, like let loose. Cousins is like, if I did like that, I'd be throwing a lot of interceptions. I wouldn't last long in this league. So that,
I mean, he's right.
He's Cousins is right, but that could be the difference between you being a playmaker or a system quarterback.
I mean, he had 4,300 yards.
And he's a system quarterback, and that's all there is to it. And that's what we all knew about Kirk Cousins. Is Minnesota just thought that they could do better. They thought that the pasture was green on the other side, and they're finding out that you're only going to get but so much out of this dude. So,
but this is my thing, DJ.
Mm-hmm.
I remember last year there were days where Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen just didn't get open, or they were dropping passes. So while I can kind of knock Cousins for his inconsistency, I mean, at the same time, he had 4,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 10 picks, and people said he sucked. And I'm looking at Stephon Diggs getting clamped by the Patriots before the secondary even came of age. I'm looking at Adam Thielen getting clamped. I'm looking at Kyle Rudolph being soft. I'm looking at Dalvin Cook not playing last year, and I'm like, well, yeah, Cousins is off to a slow start this year, but I think Stephon Diggs' real issue is the fact that Adam Thielen is the number one on that team, and he's not getting targeted as much.
So y'all gonna jump to the next pick? I mean, I know Kirk Cousins could be another topic.
Oh, wait, so read that stat line again. Read that stat line again about Kirk.
4,300, 30 touchdowns and 10 picks.
Yeah. That's beautiful stats. That's the stuff that us Redskins fans were clamoring about while we were losing.
I mean, yeah that's fine, but I mean, the Vikings defense is in a bit different situation. So who did you take?
I will take the Giants just because of all that. Because the problem is Kirk Cousins. It's not the battle between the receivers. It's the quarterback.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Man, shout out to people who watch videos the first 5 seconds and come up with their own conclusion.
All right. I know exactly what he's talking about. Ravens at the Steelers. I'm gonna take the
first 30 seconds of my video. I'll tell you how I feel about the game, but don't listen to the rest because you just want to hear the first 30 seconds. But shout out to the people who do that. As long as you come to the video, you gave engagement. I appreciate it.
AKA Yusuf. Anyway,
what's the next one?
Ravens and the Steelers. I got the Ravens.
I'm taking the Ravens. Absolutely.
I
don't even. There's no point in taking the Ravens are going to beat them. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I think the Ravens will win safely, but at the same time, I'm looking at the divisional game, and a lot of times in the AFC North, it just seems like the games don't go the way you would.
I'm picking the Steelers on this one. I'm going with the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, I think the safe pick would be the Ravens, but I can't knock anybody who takes the Steelers. Jaguars and Panthers. This is going to be interesting because you got two backups that nobody really envisioned playing this year.
You know what?
Be a shootout.
Yeah, you bullshitting. That might be the game of the week, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean
that might be a game that's way better than advertised.
I'm gonna take the Panthers. Oh no! I'm gonna take the Jaguars. I'm gonna take the Jaguars.
Yo, to me, it's hard to pick either one. I have no idea.
I think Kyle Allen
on this one.
I think Kyle Allen finally lays an egg, and I'm gonna go with the Jaguars on this one.
Yeah, I'm going with the Panthers on this one.
I don't know who to pick because Minshew and Kyle Allen are looking decent, and I don't think either one of their arms are needed to win the game. But I do think Minshew's arm is a better fit to win the game. But when you look at everything around both teams, it's hard to pick that game. I honestly don't know. I'll just randomly pick one. I will say Jaguars. But that's not like something I can definitively say. That can go either way.
So my thing with this game is, I think that because Kyle Allen has played really well with the world kind of against him, and Minshew's done the same. I think because Minshew's continuing to go on the road, I think
that's the thing though. I don't think Minshew's playing with the world is against him. He's just going out there and balling.
No. But I'm saying it's not so much the world cheering against him; it's the odds being against him. So because the odds are against him pretty much every week, everybody's pulling for him. But they wouldn't be surprised if he fell off a cliff any of these weeks as far as his play. So I think because Minshew's kind of pulling out, road warrior thing right now, I think he's going to continue that against the Panthers. I think Allen's going to lay an egg. I don't think he's going to do it for the rest of the season. I think this will be the game because this is going to be the best defense they've played. But that's another one that can go either way. Broncos and the Chargers. I don't see any way the Chargers lose this.
Yeah, wait. I Chargers on this one.
Wait, we'll do that one first.
You said Broncos and Chargers?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
that might be the bottom of the barrel game of the week.
No. That Cardinals Bengals game is by far the bottom.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true too. That is true. But if I have to pick, I'm gonna take the Chargers. Broncos lost Bradley Chubb. Chargers got Melvin Gordon coming back. I'm taking the Chargers.
All right, let me circle back to this Falcons and Texans game. I got the Texans.
Yeah, I'm taking Texans as well. Falcons are in disarray. Dan Quinn's gonna lose his job in the next couple weeks. I don't see the Falcons doing anything.
Well, that is a Texans home game.
Yeah, no, but I still don't have trust. I don't have trust in the Falcons. I think even though that
I'll go with Texans. I'll go with Texans.
Yeah, even though Deshaun Watson plays better on the road than at home, the Falcons are just too. They're just too out of sync. They play well. They play well against the Eagles, and after that, every other game has been terrible.
I could see the Falcons playing well with their backs against the wall, but
not with that coach. They won't. That coach.
I'm gonna go with the short shot here.
If they do it, it's because the players rallied around themselves. The coach is not motivating them to do nothing.
I still see Dan Quinn and Jay Gruden competing for who's gonna get fired first. So
right,
that's it.
Well, after this past week's comments, it looks like Jay has the lead.
Yeah,
he's about to pick Colt McCoy as the starter.
Packers and the Cowboys. I think this will be the actual game of the week.
Yeah, I think this is the game of the week based on name only. But I'm telling you, honestly, don't sleep on the what was that game we said? Was it the Jaguars
Jacksonville Carolina game?
Yeah, don't sleep on that. Might be the better entertaining game of the week, but obviously because of the name, Packers Cowboys. I get it. I'm taking the Cowboys. I don't see the Packers are good. I just don't see the Cowboys losing at home.
Yeah, if the Cowboys run the ball, the way they're supposed to, then they're winning this game. So I'm picking the Cowboys as well.
The Cowboys seem to have trouble with the Packers in Dallas. I don't get what it is.
They do.
I'm going to take the Packers on this one.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Packers on
this one. There's nothing wrong with picking the Packers. I'm just because even that Saints game, I actually went back to look at that game. It was a 12-10 game. I mean, my God. Was that actually good football play? Because I didn't watch the whole game. All I know the final score, and I'm like, who's happy because of that?
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's not going to be that kind of game. I think the Cowboys defense the Cowboys defense does play good either way. They only gave up 4 field goals to the Saints, but that's saying nothing because you had Drew Brees wasn't playing. But nevertheless, I think they're going to be fine. I think it's going to be a close one. I think the Cowboys will pull it off. But the Packers is not a bad pick either.
Yusuf, you sound like the fucking maximum football dev right now with your dumbass comments. Who's hating on the game because they told the truth about the game? If you want to play a PS1 level,
back up. That just goes to show you he did not listen to the video. If he think I'm hating on maximum, that just goes to show you he did not listen to the video after 35 seconds.
That's not what it is.
Hold on. Let's talk about that further after we get through these picks. We got some more picks left?
Colts and Chiefs is a night game on Sunday. I got the Chiefs.
Yeah, absolutely. Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Chiefs.
I just don't see him. I don't know, man. I don't see the Chiefs losing for a while.
I'm like, it's a battle of light-skinned quarterback versus dark-skinned quarterback. So I'll go with the light-skinned quarterback since I'm considered light-skinned in most circles. So.
All right, okay.
And then the Monday night game was the Browns and the 49ers. I got the Browns. I'm not too confident.
Ooh. I've been picking the 49ers all season. I've been right every single time. I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but this might be a statement win for the 49ers going up against a loaded Browns team. I'm taking the 49ers once again, and this is going to be the game to tell everybody that the 49ers are for real.
I'm not favoring B5's home team. So I'm going with the Browns on this one.
I'm taking the 49ers win, and I'm telling you, Matt Breida going to have 100 yards and 1 touchdown.
I'm afraid that this will be that loss that on Tuesday everybody's going to come and say, the Browns are just garbage. And
right.
I can see that happen, but I can also see everybody coming out crowning the Browns. Like, you see how they beat up on the sorry ass 49ers who weren't that good to begin with. So, I can see it both ways.
But the Browns coming off that game against the Ravens, they dismantled the Ravens.
That's why
their first victory over the Ravens in quite some time to just tear them apart like that.
Without Mayfield even playing well.
That is why I say the 49ers. That's why I say the 49ers are going to win, and it's going to be a statement win to let everybody know that the 49ers are for real.
I'm trying to get some brand new points with B5.
DJ,
you already know why I like the 49ers. That has nothing to do with
B5. I know.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what's scary about that win, DJ. Mm-hmm. Baker Mayfield didn't really even go off in that game.
Right.
He had a touchdown and a pick, so it's like, let him get going, and it's like.
But here's the thing: we're so centered around the quarterback having to get off that if the running back gets off, it doesn't produce the same effect for a team. I'm like, Chuck ran for 3 touchdowns in that game, and in a powerful fashion.
And Kareem Hunt is back. So there's that.
I'm still taking it.
I feel you. So let's circle back to Yusef's brain dead helmet wearing ass comment.
I really don't. We got way more important topics to talk about. I really don't want to.
He's on that dumb shit. But anyway,
my main thing is if he keeps saying what he's saying, all he's doing is exposing himself to let everybody know that he did not watch the video, and that's okay. A lot of people watch YouTube videos and don't watch the video. They look at the title and think they know everything about the video.
Well, he's outside of EA headquarters with his fucking picket sign and shit.
I don't care if he's outside the Devil's Gate with a picket sign. He did not watch the video. He's just exposing himself, and I have nothing else to say about it.
St. Louis looks like they just climbed within one of this game.
I got Paul Goldschmidt. I've already.
All right, with that being said, we got 4 topics. Which one do y'all want to talk about first? Madden 20 Burfict, the pass interference, or this college football thing?
Let's stay on whatchamacallit, NFL.
Okay, you want to talk about Burfict? All right, so Burfict decided to continue to knock out everybody with helmet-to-helmet hits. Got himself a 1-year suspension. I'm not even talking about the 1-year suspension. I want to know, just straight up, go keep this easy and simple. Do you think he should ever come back to the NFL to play again?
No.
Never.
No.
What do you guys think in the chat? I know it's going to take a time for them to
read. Did this dude just say, I wish Gedden made a review on it?
I'm not responding. He's trying his best, man.
You already know Yusef has Gedden's kids on his forehead. So
I mean, I ain't
got, that's what you do. You say dumb shit like that. But anyway, I think the thing with Burfict that gets me is his lack of remorse. I think that's why he shouldn't be allowed back in the league. He's been fined. They said 15 times.
Yeah, they said he's been fined. I think it was
12, one or the other.
It's been like 13 times or something like that in the last 18 months or something like that.
For any and everything.
It was like between 18 and 24 months. He's been fined that many times. I don't.
How many times can you find somebody before you just say it's like writing somebody up at work? How many times are you gonna write them up?
Right.
Before you just terminate them. It just doesn't make any sense. He just keeps.
I look at it like this. I also look at the fact that he is the one that triggered that whole Antonio Brown situation. I keep telling folks.
A lot of people keep saying that, like that helmet.
No, but here's the thing. The thing about concussions when they happen, you don't know what it does to that person. It could change their whole personality. I said this a couple of podcasts ago. That could have been the trigger. He may have already had the traits, but been able to like hide them, and the organization been able to hide them. But something like that, all of a sudden you would go from a person that's conservative to liberal in just one hit.
No, I don't think he should play another down in the NFL. I think he should be done. If you got people, or if you got a person in the league who's constantly, hurting players, and that's not just a helmet to helmet hit. I'm just saying.
Wait, hold on. Here's another thing. Who's the person he hit this time?
Jack Doyle?
Is he white or black?
Oh, come on, Bill. Come on, DJ. Come on, man.
Because we heard our own. They like to see that. We heard one of them. Oh, he got to go. I'm sorry.
My thing is like I was saying. I mean, I done got thrown off, but I mean, my thing is like not even a helmet to helmet hit. Let's say if you had somebody who was constantly tearing up people ACLs, going for their knees over and over again. Or if you had somebody who was like constantly, tackling somebody wrong that was actually hurting them, stuff like that.
That would explain a normal situation, but you're talking about a situation in a league that's always being questioned of why they allow certain players to do what they do. And in this instance, looking at Burfict, I'm looking at the people he's hit over the years. Most of the people he's hit, and only been like a slap on the wrist, is for his own, but he had a white guy. Now he has to go for a year.
I'll tell you this.
I don't think
he should have been gone for a year, like 5 hits ago.
I'll tell you this though.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I think that way.
I compare Vontaze Burfict to TJ Ward. They're both dirty pieces of shit. The only difference is TJ Ward's out of the league because he fucking sucks. At least Vontaze Burfict can play football well. TJ Ward's literally just a dirty ass bitch. He's a poor man's Bernard Pollard. I'm a hard hitter who does dirty shit. But Bernard Pollard knew how to play the game the right way if he really felt like it. TJ Ward was literally fucking garbage. So I compare it, but that's the thing. So Burfict's gonna get out of the league because he's gonna get his ass suspended and banned. TJ Ward, he got his way out the league because he fucking sucks. They're both one and the same. I don't think Burfict should ever step foot on another football field anywhere because he clearly does this shit on purpose and he has no remorse. And the hits keep getting worse and worse and worse. You got John Gruden making him a fucking defensive cap. You know who Vontaze Burfict should play for if he comes back? He should play for Greg Williams. They're made for each other.
I'm going to be honest. I need to find out because I don't know him all the way like that. But if his football acumen is not too bad, I wouldn't mind him being a coordinator somewhere.
Oh,
Burfict.
Why? So you can tell him to do the same thing?
Well, hey,
and basically become Greg Williams 2.0.
Greg Williams.
Listen, it's up to them if they listen. If he has a good football mind, I don't mind it. But
are you acting like the NFL right now?
Nah, he needs to be flipping patties at a fucking McDonald's somewhere. That's what he needs to be.
He may hit somebody with a spatula.
Of course he will.
Honestly, on the real honest, I don't think he should be nowhere near the NFL. Honestly, no. I think he should. I think they got him right. I don't think next year. Maybe a team signs him, but I don't know. It may be too high a risk. I don't think he should play the NFL again. I think he should be done.
Is he really going to use extortion? I was about to buy one of your sponsored intros too.
Yusuf, you're like.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be real. I don't know what he's trying to do. Is he trying to get me to react? Just watch the video and come up with your own, conclusion about how you feel about my video.
His thing is he's trying to get a reaction.
Yeah, he's trying. He think people are attacking him. I'm not attacking him. All I said was I stated a fact. If he think I'm hating on Maximum Football, clearly he did not watch the video. Anybody and everybody who watched the video can clearly understand that as well. Now, if he want to continue to use his fingers and keep typing and trying to troll me, that's fine. Knock yourself out. But the bottom line is you did not watch the video.
It's either a get-in troll account, a get-in burner account the way KD has, except way less important because Gettin's Gettin and KD's KD, or it's a fucking KD hoe and it's a R. Kelly situation. He has a gun to his head saying, you better type this out and defend me. I don't know what it is.
He can say what he want about me hating on the game. He did not watch the video and I'm leaving it at that. He didn't.
Well, let's move on.
I'm not going to waste any other energy about what else he types. All I know is he did not watch the video. Then there's no dispute that There's no dispute that. He can't dispute that. He can't say otherwise. Because if he did,
here Yusuf goes. He says, "Let's get back on topic." Well, yeah, because the topic's you now. So now it's let's get back on topic.
Right.
You don't want to start getting roasted. So now you're gonna start deflecting and moving the field goal post. Nah, the topic was on you, and now you feel, oh shit, I'm in the spotlight. I got the attention I wanted. Fuck out of here. Anyway, PI challenges.
All right, pass interference.
This was your topic.
Yeah, let's talk about this because that was the topic I was talking about on Tuesday, DJ, about what I wanted to talk about today.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Right.
The pass interference challenges are going nowhere fast. Like nobody is winning these challenges. The challenges suck, and when it's time to actually make a challenge, nobody makes the challenges. I think that even though the Saints, it's basically the Saints is the Saints rule. And with that being said, is like it's benefiting nobody when it's supposed to help everybody. What are your thoughts about the challenges? DJ, I'll let you go first.
All right. Honestly, I thought. See, my whole thought was it would have been a good thing if a team could challenge a pass interference once it's called. Therefore, you can look at it and see if it wasn't pass interference versus challenging whether it potentially could have been pass interference. I think that's where they went wrong, to have it both ways when you really can't have it both ways in that situation. I think right now it's dumb. It's taking up much more valuable time than there is. To try to make something that's originally a judgment call and leaving it at that, to now all of a sudden, we can go back and change it. I wonder what else I wonder how further they're gonna go with other calls, like holding. I heard that was the next thing that they were possibly going to look at to see if there was a holding on plays. I'm like, this is just stuff like in theory where they could go next and go wrong with and go wrong with those challenges to review holding penalties and stuff like that. And the pass interference system, challenge system in its current state, it shouldn't exist in that state. It should only exist if pass interference is called. Then the team can challenge it, but like, that was not pass interference. All right, let's go and look at it. That should be the only time pass interference should be challenged, not this whole Saints rule type situation.
Bills, what are your thoughts about this guy? If anybody could somebody find out what is the success rate of yay or nay with these challenges? I have yet to find it. Nobody put it up on the internet, and if anybody can find it, please let me know. What are your thoughts, Bills?
I mean, I go back to what I said. I can't help but say that I called it.
I think we all did.
I called the fact that who is going to go as a referee? Who's going to go and admit I was wrong? I missed it. Nobody. That's why they're not getting them right. That's why they're not winning these challenges. These referees are not going to go back and say, yeah, we got it wrong. It's not going to happen. So now you have a situation where you added a rule that was a drop of the hat. Oh, look, we got one wrong in the NFC Championship game, so now we have to go and add this rule. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. But, I mean, if the refs were honest when they actually got one wrong, I would have no problem with it, but they're not honest. So there's no point in having it. It does take up extra time. And the other thing is what VF brought up that we all talked about is just going to open the door for other stupid challenges like holding and
actually it was me.
That's what I said, DJ.
Yeah, DJ. Yeah. You said I did. It was actually DJ.
Oh well, DJ. That brought up. It's just gonna open the door for other challenges, and I don't get what the point of it is, bro. It's a discretionary call, man.
All right, I looked up on Pro Football Reference. There's nothing there to say anything about the challenges success rate. I've yet to find it. I need to know because every time I see it, it usually ends up standing, or I think it's like, as far as when I was searching, I seen it was like Adam Gase, the Bucs successfully challenged one, and Sean McVay did, and also in week 2, Pete Carroll did. So you're looking at like 5 instances that I know of. I don't know how many times it's been thrown, but to me, that just sounds like a very low rate. If it's only 5, because I'm pretty sure.
Okay, here we go. Through the first 17 games that they're talking about as far as the preseason.
Oh, okay. Are you looking at the freep.com? Freep.com. Detroit Free Press.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Why they call it Free P?
Detroit Free Press.
That thing says freep.com.
Wow.
Go ahead and say what you're about to say.
Said through the first 17 games of the preseason, there have been 15 challenges of pass interference penalties with only 1 call overturned. So they should have known in the preseason that this shit wasn't going to work.
Right. And then you look at that play against the Chiefs versus Lions when whoever that dude was, he mugged that Lions receiver. That was terrible. But I don't even know if that was actually challenged. I just saw the picture of it. It was terrible.
That was from this article that was on August 12th. I'm actually currently looking for anything that was more recent, but I'm sure that overall, they're just not having any type of luck.
That's what, like, overall look like it's a failure. That's what it seems like to me.
Here's another question. Do we recall any NFL refs getting fined for ever missing a call the way the NBA does it?
No.
So that just furthers my point. They're not here to get the calls right. You're asking them to review a discretionary call at their own fucking discretion. How does that make any sense? Right.
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I have no words. It's just dumb, man. It's just dumb.
I don't have anything else to add to it. I just think that it's just apparent that this whole thing, like we said when he first started talking about it, I think all 3 of us was on record to say that this would be a failure.
Of course.
I don't think any one of us was, actually thinking differently.
No.
And it just comes out to be a failure. I'm gonna look at a few chat ones in the chat real quick.
Thank you, New Orleans Saints fans.
Right.
Oh God.
What's going on here?
What?
Oh, he got thrown out.
I was looking at a few of the chat. I didn't see nothing that's too significant. But keep bringing your chat stuff in the chat. We do appreciate it. But I know one thing. NA said that go back to 80 style football and make players full-time employees so they can get health care. I'm pretty sure. Are you talking about the players or the refs?
Because I know they were talking about the refs. I know they recently just started talking about the fact that they was going to invest in a youth program for the referees.
Right.
So that way they can start cycling in new blood.
Yeah. And we're not even talking about the Miles Sanders call when he got his head pretty much decapitated on that one play, but that's not reviewable. But then again, that was obvious to see. Anything else y'all want to add before we go to the next topic?
No.
All right, what's the next one? What y'all want to jump to next?
We could do y'all want to do college football?
It's up to y'all. It doesn't matter to me either way.
We could do college football, I guess.
All right, college football takes. Bills, you can take the lead on that one because all I am responding to what the take that dumbass guy said on TV today.
All right, so basically we're looking at a situation in which the Clemson Tigers are being considered by a lot of people to have a very weak schedule, and they're saying if Clemson goes undefeated, they still might not make the college playoff, which I think is absolutely asinine. I don't know how you can keep – and it's not even about – this is the question I want to bring up after I further this. So, basically, I'm looking at Alabama and Georgia and even Notre Dame, and I'm looking at their schedules, and, yeah, they might be harder than Clemson, but if a team goes undefeated and they're – I mean, you don't even have to go by past precedent and say they're defending their national championship, but if a team goes undefeated – and they win their conference, and they started out the year as number 1 in the country. How do they not make the playoffs? How are your wins so unimpressive that you drop out of the top 4? I just don't get it. So
I'm with you on that. Drop out of the top 4. Their schedule is not the best. It's pretty weak. Alabama actually has a weaker schedule, but still, if those games are close, the only way you can make that case to say that they shouldn't be in it, if there's other teams that are undefeated, like you have like 5 other teams that's undefeated.
My thoughts on this is that a defending champion should be able to defend their crown if they were to make it that far. So if Clemson goes undefeated, they should be in that playoffs.
So that's what I was going to ask. Because
one of the examples they brought up was Florida State. Now, Florida State got creamed in the first round, but they earned that right despite them struggling. They made it unscathed to that playoffs, and
so
they lost fair and square.
So that's what I was going to ask.
They should have that right.
So I want both of y'all's opinions. I think I pretty much know DJ's opinion. VF, do you think that past precedent should play a role in whether a team makes the playoff?
Absolutely not. Whatever you did in 2017 or 18 has nothing to do with 19.
And see, I lean towards.
You can make a case that, especially in college football, because some of those players that was on the team in 2017 are in the pros now. So why should the team for 2019 benefit from those guys who are not even on the team? If they're still on the team, yeah, I can understand it. But you're basically dealing with a whole new team after 2 years in some cases.
Well, see, I lean towards that, but at the same time, DJ has a point because Clemson essentially brought back the same team this year, minus, a couple defensive players, but offensively, they pretty much brought back the same team. If they go undefeated again,
my only thing is,
how do they not make the playoffs?
The only way they would not go, if like I said, like Doug Thomas put in the chat, and I'm going to put it up here, he thinks it's because they struggled against UNC. I get it. If they have a lot of games where they are struggling with other teams in their weak schedule, and you have other teams that are undefeated as well, it's going to be hard to keep them in that top 4. Like, say, for instance, if you had 6 teams that are undefeated who actually beat better opponents with a better, more, what's the word I'm looking for? More impressively or in a better light, that they beat these other teams compared to, let's say, Clemson did beat a UNC by 1, and they beat Boston College by 3, and then they turn around and beat Georgia Tech by 4. Yeah, you can make a case for them to be number 6 or number 5. But, I mean, if they're undefeated and they're like 3 other teams that are undefeated, like there's only 4 teams that's undefeated and Clemson's one of them, I can see that the undefeated teams still be in top 4. But if you, like I said, if you got 3 other teams that's undefeated that actually won more impressive games, you can make a case for that.
But see, my issue is the source of this fucking idea, because Paul Feinbaum with his dumb ass, his brain dead Alabama stan ass, he wants to talk about having a weak schedule and Clemson not making it. He don't look at Alabama's fucking out of conference schedule. He don't look at the fact that Alabama could lose a game and still make the playoff, even though it was a bad fucking loss. He discounts that loss and acts like they're undefeated. So that's the thing.
I get you. That's a different thing if Alabama loses a game. I get that.
But I'm saying even if they don't.
But if Alabama blows everybody out, even with their weak schedule.
Let's say they don't.
They'll be in the same situation with Clemson. I agree.
But here's the thing. That's where past precedent comes into play, because these motherfuckers are going to pick Alabama over Clemson, and I don't think that's right. If you're
that's a media thing, I get you on that.
But that's where the nod should go to the defending champion. And mind you, Alabama was the one that lost to them last year, which makes it even worse. So it's like.
So are you talking about a scenario? Let's say you had 6 undefeated teams. Alabama and Clemson had the cupcake schedule, but the other 2 undefeated teams had a better impressive wins against other teams. You still think Alabama and Clemson should still be in the top 4 because of precedent?
This is where
let's just say, for instance, Oklahoma. Let's say Oklahoma went undefeated and they had a better, their schedule was a little bit tougher, and you still had your Alabama, Georgia, you had your Clemson, you had Alabama, Georgia, Clemson. Who's the other undefeated team that's out here now? LSU. You have LSU. Those are the 4 undefeated teams. But now you have Oklahoma and Ohio State that probably had a tougher record, tougher schedule than Bama and Clemson. Should you think that Ohio State and Oklahoma should stay out because they're just undefeated, even though it was a weaker schedule.
But this is where the rare 16 playoff comes into play, because I was a big proponent of basically after the first couple years extending the playoff anyway, especially for the people that were bitching about UCF last year. Put them in and see what happens. This year we may have a 6 undefeated team situation. Right. In that case, I know that bias is going to come into play, but if I was going to have a bias, so to speak, it would be that Clemson's the undefeated national champions, and nobody's knocked them off their perch yet, like DJ said. So I don't see any reason why they shouldn't make the playoff and defend the championship, especially if. And then the other thing is, everybody's like, "Oh well, Trevor Lawrence isn't even in the Heisman race." Well, that's Paul Feinbaum, dumbass again.
That has nothing to do with them going to the national championship.
It does, because the thing is, you know good and well that these teams that have guys in the Heisman Trophy race, usually the reason why that guy is in the Heisman Trophy race.
That's a media thing.
It's a media thing, but that's why we're talking about this. So it really has to do with the media.
I put it like this: if you have Oklahoma and Ohio State, if you have Oklahoma and Ohio State undefeated and they beat teams more convincingly than the Alabama and Clemson, I don't see a problem with Oklahoma and Ohio State being up there with Georgia and LSU. I don't have a problem with that. I don't care if they're undefeated and beat every team by 3. If Ohio State blowing teams out and if Oklahoma blowing teams out more convincingly, I think that they should be in, and Alabama and Clemson just have to sit home undefeated. I don't care what they did in the past. That's your record for this year speaks for itself. If it's not as decisive, if it's not as convincing as the other 2 teams that are undefeated, there's no reason for you to be in the playoff.
I got a question. When does the expansion of the playoffs take place? I feel like the expansion of playoffs will solve all of this.
Yeah, I agree. I think let me see CFB championship contract. I think it's up in 2024. I think. Let me look.
So we're still going to be having this debate for the next several years until that.
Which they didn't anticipate, because they figured
they didn't think so many teams were going to end up being this good at one time.
Come on, everyone could see that coming a mile away.
Well, no, because remember the Jalen Hurts transfer kind of spurred some of this.
Nah, but I actually said this a while back that they should have expanded to at least the top 10.
I always
what's that?
No, the way I thought it always should have been 6 in the top 2 get a bye. That's how.
No, here's the thing: you do believe in a progressive playoff format. You go from 4 because you had 4, then 6, but I believe ultimately it should be a top 10.
Yeah, I get it. I see what you're saying, but I always thought it was fair. If you look at how the NCAA football, top 10 or top 25 look, you always have at least, at the bare minimum, at least top 5 or top 6 teams that say, you know what, those teams could probably do it. So I can get it where like number 1 and number 2 get to bye, 3 and 6 play each other, 4 and 5. I can see where that's a little more ideal. It kind of makes sense instead of having the top 10 where you can have a Utah that's 9 and 4 going up against, a number 2 seed or something like that.
What do you
know what I'm saying?
What do y'all think about this? Okay, let's say I don't think it should be a set bracket. That's just me. I think it should be discretionary. For example, I think the way they should do it, if you have 4 unbeaten teams in the Power 5 conferences, I think only 4 teams should make it. Now, if you don't, then you should extend it to 6. But I think it should go to year, because I can't really make an argument for any team with 1 loss being better than any teams that are undefeated in the Power 5 conference, especially if that team lost to.
All right, hold tight. The contract expires in 2026.
God damn.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about this.
We're going to be dealing with this for
5 years, 5-6 years, yeah.
But it is still, this was starting to happen. This was starting to happen a couple of years ago. Yeah. I remember bringing it up Probably not on this podcast, but I remember bringing up the idea that if they did a playoff format. Now, to talk about Bill's playoff prescription that he just laid out there, that would be fine if the NCAA wasn't trying to make money.
Oh, of course,
because that means they don't know how much they're gonna make from this every single year, because it could be 4 teams, it could be 6 teams, what have you.
I mean, you gotta understand, you gotta think about it already. The NCAA, well, I can say NCAA, the college playoff committee, or that whole entity right now between ESPN and the college football playoff committee, there's a 12-year deal with $7.2 billion. So you can just imagine what the NCAA is making on the back end of that.
You know what my issue is, though? I also have an issue with a first round bye for any team, because I feel like any team that makes it in has a chance to win, right? So why should any other team get a bye? I don't think they should get off the hook. I think that they should have to play. The case.
I can't disagree with that. I got what you're saying.
Yeah, I think they should have to play.
But my thing is, if you have a 6-team playoff, if you're going to expand to 6, somebody's going to have to get a bye. All 6 teams can't play each other at one time, so somebody's going to have to have a bye. And I think it should be 1 and 2. But I get it. Everybody should play. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying how the format would be. That's what it'd be. Chris Thomas put in the chat. I want to put this up because this is actually interesting, because I actually experienced this when I was at Georgia Southern. He was basically saying that they should have a playoff bracket like Division II football. I wasn't necessarily playing the entire time, but when I was at Georgia Southern, we were under that format where there was a legit college playoff under Division I AA, and also Division II and Division III does it. The problem with that is, with Division II or I AA ball, say what you want about those divisions are way more evenly matched, even when it's still rankings. So I mean, you did have a couple of dominant teams, but it was still more of a even match with everybody that's in the pool. With NCAA 1A football, or FBS, you clearly know who's number 2 is going to beat the snot out of who's number 17. So it can't be that big. But I get it. If it's going to be a playoff bracket, kind of like what DJ said, it could be a top 10 or top 12, because 10 can't make an actual bracket. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I have another question then.
What's that?
So if we're extending the playoff, what happens? Do we get rid of the conference championship games?
Well, see, that's another.
You can make one of those. You can make one of those the conference championship games.
Because that's the thing. I feel like certain teams. I mean, Clemson pretty much wins. The ACC outright every year.
Yeah, I mean, you got a point there. I mean, that's something to think about.
SEC and the Big Ten and the Big 12 would be the only conferences out of the Power 5 that I guess would be contested somewhat in the in the conference championship. But I mean, Clemson's kind of just sitting here like, well, we're going to kick whoever's ass makes it to the, conference title game, and shit, we go undefeated and lose that one game and suffer a letdown. It's like, do we automatically get kicked out of the playoff? Especially with there's 6 teams. It's kind of a slippery slope when you think about it. I would eradicate the conference championships, and I would look. I mean, that's almost like having a fucking divisional championship in basketball before you go to the playoffs. It's kind of pointless. Because if you're gonna have a playoff, then you just look at record. Unless it happens to be 3 teams that are fucking tied within a conference, which never happens. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of disagree with Doug Thomas. The conference championships are not necessarily useless.
No, I don't think it's useless.
When you're looking at it from a total different entity, which is the playoff bracket, I can understand where they don't have any meaning towards those brackets or that playoff.
No.
But me personally, like I said, I come from a smaller school where, the Sun Belt Conference, that's a big deal for those kids down there. And it could be a big deal for a lot of these Power 5 schools, but the problem is, it's kind of like put in their heads that it's national championship or bust. Now, y'all might think it's blasphemous, but to be honest with you, college ball technically isn't about national championship or bust. I mean, it does mean a lot you got to understand that college ball is still kind of a high school football style format. It's kind of like a hybrid. So when you do win your conference or when you do win against a rival, it's a big deal. It's not just, I mean, we got what 130, 130 colleges.
Yeah.
They all know they're not going to compete for a national title. So those things, those conference championships, those rival games do mean a lot. But I do understand. I'm not disagreeing 100% with Doug Thomas because they are useless when it comes to the national title game or, to getting in the playoff. But overall, those are big deals to win a Pac-12 championship to some of those kids. I mean, they know what they're getting into when they sign up for these schools.
Well, here's another thing. When we look at all these bowls that we have, we need to utilize those to mean more than just winning some sorry ass trophy that don't mean shit. If we're gonna start including teams and we're gonna start, expanding the playoff, I think those bowl games also need to mean more. And even if you have a playing game with one of those bowls, right. I just think that those need to mean more. I mean, you got these teams that. Like, okay, for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say Oklahoma loses to, let's say they suffer a bad loss like on the road. I haven't looked at the schedule.
Let's say if they lose to Oklahoma State or something.
Yeah, let's say they lose Oklahoma State on the road, right? Bad loss. And they fucking obliterate everybody else, right? And then you look at the college playoff and you're like, now, okay, they lost one game. Now they're going to some sorry-ass bowl game. They're going to destroy whoever the fuck they face and make you question, well, shit, should we still have put them in? Because that happened last year. So I just think these bowl games need to mean more, and I think these teams that play in the higher echelon bowl games need to have a chance of making it into the playoff. If there's some way they can incorporate it, it'd be great. Now, obviously, not those bottom feeder bowls, but, the Sugar Bowl and all the other ones that you're not using for – the 14 playoff, I think you need to incorporate.
The ones that are still prestigious but not going anywhere, like you said, the Cotton Bowl or the Sugar Bowl in some cases. Yeah. You have like the Orange Bowl, like those that still they carry a lot of weight, but at the end of the day, they're not doing much for anything outside of the prestigious name.
Yeah, the team wins. It's just like, how long has the Rose Bowl been fucking pointless? All we know is a Big Ten team and a fucking Pac-12 team play. Who cares?
You know what I'm saying? Earlier, man. Like I said, they're not as useless as it's made out to be. But I get
the conference championships aren't. But the Rose Bowl has been pedestrian.
Well, I mean, the bowls are just as. They're just as prestigious, but I get what you're saying.
They seem prestigious, but when you look at the teams playing in them and how cookie cutter they are, where it's just like, okay, it's going to be Big Ten versus Pac-12 every year. It's just
when you look at it from that standpoint, you're kind of looking at it compared, like you were saying, like compared to the other bowls that are participating in the national championship. And, it all has a parallel to it. Those bowls are not necessarily, like I said, in general, a lot of these schools, a lot of these players come to these schools aren't necessarily going exactly for a national title. Sometimes it's a big deal for them to win a Rose Bowl game or a Peach Bowl or something like that. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, a lot of these schools are not going to ever compete. I mean, you got 100 and something schools. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying from that aspect of the national title championship in the brackets of the playoff. But most of these teams are like. For instance, I mean, one really good like Georgia Tech, they're probably number 2 in the ACC. They're not going to beat Clemson, but 9 times out of 10, they're recruiting guys to say, hey, look, you can mess around and, play in the Chick-fil-A Bowl or something like that. And for some players, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at Hawaii and Georgia and say, well, fuck, why doesn't Georgia get a chance? Like, let's say they had the playoff back then. It's just like, Georgia beats the fuck out of Hawaii in the Sugar Bowl, and then they just go home, and it's like, oh yeah, we won the Sugar Bowl. I
get it. I mean, it's a bigger deal what you're making it out to be, but I do understand what you're saying.
Right.
Anything else you want to add to this playoff thing? I mean,
no,
I don't have anything else. I just think that somewhere down the road, I think at the end of the day, I think they're going to at least try the 6 teams and probably end up expanding from there.
By then, it'd be the boy who cried wolf. We're going to have this issue every year. We got to wait till 2026.
Yeah.
By then, it's like people might stop caring because their team gets snubbed. We're kind of just stuck with it.
All right, what's up with this Madden patch, man? I read it. I have officially re-downloaded Madden 20.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it a run. I got some friends on my friends list that say they won't play Madden, but they're playing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes sometimes you might want to keep your origin private, but never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what's up with this patch? I mean, I read it. I want your thoughts first, Bills. I mean, I like what I see overall.
I'm enjoying the game. The game feels great. Game feels really good. They've touched the reaction time for deep safeties and pretty much every defender on the field. They've bolstered that a little bit more. They've gave that a bump. So the game feels really good. I haven't really touched franchise, but it is promising what they've said as far as those storylines. I'm gonna have to obviously play a little bit into a franchise to really see, but that was the main thing that was my issue as far as franchise was the fact that there weren't enough stories that made sense. You kind of kept seeing the same ones. So, the disgruntled player one that they added, the frustrated player is going to make more sense now when it pops up. So that's good. And I'm just interested to see what all stories they added because the gameplay right now is damn good.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't necessarily looked at I looked at everything and I haven't necessarily seen anything about the stats going over to the following year. I mean, it's a deal breaker for me to play long term because I like stuff like that to see how long whatever player I drafted to see what they actually did. But I'm gonna give it a shot and just to see what the gameplay is like. I mean, hell, I got it on EA Access. I mean, I just re-downloaded it just to see what's up. But like I said, from what I read was really good. A lot of scenarios changing, a lot of bug fixes. The kick meter bug has been fixed from what they say, so that's a good thing. And like I said, I like what I see. DJ, did you look at anything?
Let's see, because I'm gonna give it a whirl tonight. Not that I'm gonna play through a whole season in one night, but I'm gonna definitely give it a go. The main thing that I'm looking at are the new playoff content. You got one that says win one for the veteran, playoff clinch notification, which I'm just like, depending upon what that notification looks like, it'll probably be just like, when that little bubble pops up and you just look at it, it kind of gives me that, okay, they're thinking, when we were playing Tecmo Bowl, how you would be notified through a celebratory screen of clinching the playoffs. And I used to love that when I was playing Tecmo Bowl and mainly Tecmo Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because they have like playoff clinch notification, and then there's a playoff decision scenario that says resto momentum. I'm thinking that's so. I think I'm gonna give that a try. Give like the CFM a try. Some interesting things that did pop up though that wasn't there, and I'm talking about user interface wise, was when you're running RPO plays. Now I think if you run them for the first time after this patch, the game gets stopped to let you know you're running an RPO, and this is how it's supposed to. It was a rude interruption at first.
Right.
I was just like, I don't need to know this. And I have all my visual stuff turned off and stuff like that. So I don't have coaching tips on or anything of that nature. So why is this popping up? And then for now, so when you use the coach's trigger or whatever button that brings up the coach screen or whatever, it'll let you know if the type of RPO you're running is one where it automatically hands off the ball unless you hit one of the receiver icons to pass it, or if it's one where you have to hold the snap button in order to hand the ball off, if it's like a passing RPO.
You see, that's weird. I didn't get that thing with the RPO that you're talking about.
That is funny because when I check my settings, and I have a minor issue with the settings that keeps happening with Play Now, but I had all my like coaching tips turned off, the visual indicators, all that turned off. So I don't expect anything to pop up on my screen, but it did And it made me go check to see, because I had turned them off before the game, because the minor issue that I have is that when I do the Play Now games, I have everything saved where most of the notifications and stuff are turned off. It keeps turning on when I go in to play a game. I had to turn them back off again, like it's not reading it correctly. I had the same issue in 2K because I keep getting that shot meter that keeps popping up even though I have it turned off. And each time I go in and play that game, it says that it's on when I specifically have turned it off and have saved it as such. So I don't know what's going on between both of those games as far as that's concerned. But yeah, I'm like, for new players, because I believe that obviously they're thinking about the casual players, but they also think about the players down the road, the players that are going to get it on Black Friday, the players that are going to get it around Christmas, the Christmas news, the Black Friday news. So, it's helpful for them, but not for us. I'm glad it only popped up that one time for it to stop the game. But other than that, I can care less about it.
I'm gonna give it, like I said, I'm gonna give the game a run. I'm gonna play it later.
Oh, there's another thing. I'm sorry. There's another thing that I thought was interesting. I don't think it has anything to do if I'm in a single franchise, but the minimum player size that you can set before each franchise, because you can have it to where you can set it you can have it turned off. You can have it set for 46 or whatever the numbers that pop up. What is it? Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I think that's for the multi-users, CFMs. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it a run. I mean, I told myself I wanted to try it after I looked at the patch notes. I mean, my main thing is, my problem is I always found like some of the smaller shit that they say is a deal breaker, but the small thing is like very, important. Like, how you gonna run a franchise without stat tracking? It's like some weird shit, like why in NBA Live 15 we didn't have manual bounce passing? It's like shit like that pisses me off, like the small shit. Everybody goes hype over the big stuff that's happening in these games. It's like, but the smallest thing makes a big difference in some of these games. Like, it's so weird, but like I said, I'm going to try it, and I hope it plays, just as good as it was before I left, and if not better. And I'm be interested to see how that goes. Anything else y'all got to add to that, or anything else y'all want to talk about?
I'm like, I know the patch that just released today, so I'm like, we'll probably have more to talk about it if we want to talk about it on like a Tuesday or next Thursday. So
what I'm going to do is I'm going to sim a season and see if the stats carry over.
Speaking of the actual Madden patches this year, I mean, what do you think about them so far? I mean, sometimes these patches breaks the game, but as of right now, I haven't heard anybody say anything otherwise. It seems like everything's on the up and up this year.
Apparently, people had to run the fucking devs off of Twitter for them to fucking do some goddamn work.
And you know what? They need to stay off Twitter. And a certain other dev need to get the hell off Twitter, too.
What are you talking about?
Maximum Football. They need to get off of Twitter, too, because that's not a good look for them to be fussing with the journalists about their game, and they're already fighting an uphill battle.
Fuck that guy. I was thinking about buying that game, but patch or no patch or not.
But seriously though, like people who are curious about the game see stuff like that, and it could be detrimental to their game. They don't want to see a developer arguing with people on the internet. That's the quickest way.
Like that, like motherfucker, you should be trying to make friends with the media. All right,
right. That's the quickest way. Right. That's the quickest way to people not to buy your game.
Wow.
I don't get it. I saw it today. I was like, or was it yesterday? It was today, and I was like, what the hell is going on? I was like, okay, they don't get it.
The sad thing is that they do have a marketing guy on the staff that's part of making the game, and it would be horrifying to know that he was the one that is on the that he's the one that's tweeting back with Brian Mazik about about a hit piece, which I'm like, I remember when I shared it with you guys, and I was focusing on one part of that conversation, understanding the whole other part of that conversation was aimed at Brian. But looking at that one piece, I can understand that one part I was talking about as somebody, speaking in general about negativity, how, they're trying to, put out a game that has fair treatment as far as like criticism and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're out here calling reviews hit pieces, for your first major release that includes like a college game or whatnot, that I agree it's not the right way to go. Whoever the person is that's involved in marketing, and that's funny because they did mention who that person was, because there's not that many people on that staff. I think they need to maybe put the guy in remedial training or find another person that can relate to the media a little bit better. I do have a communication studies degree, so it includes marketing and all that. Yeah, I'm advertising myself, so what? But yeah, you need that good relationship with the media to be able to like get a fair, and that's how you get your fair criticism, whether it's good or bad. You don't just automatically assume something's a hit piece because they describe the shortcomings of your game, which there are major shortcomings with that game, and I'm sure they understand that, but at the same time, they just have to roll with the punches. They were good leading up to the game releasing. Can't fall apart after it.
Well, and like I said,
you have to understand. You gotta take the good with the bad. You can't praise everybody who said, "Oh, your game's this," and then when somebody says something bad, you just gotta take it with the smiling and do better with your product.
Well, and then there's also the fact that I got such a surly response to my question about whether they were going to fix the handoffs and the pitches. When he put out the initial, I guess, update. Whatchamacallit, the initial update notes, I was like, where's fumbles and tosses and handoffs and stuff that I've seen everybody tweet you about? Because the way he made it out to be, I got to everything that I could possibly. I'm like, bro, this is one of the most requested things for y'all to address, and you're talking about we listened to the community. You clearly didn't, because everybody responded to me and was like, yeah, I've seen this happen, I've seen that happen. So clearly you weren't listening. Right. So it's one of those things where you get surly with me, and I'm just asking a question, and then you have this with Brian Mazik. It's just like, if you have that sort of thin skin in this business, you have no business.
You're not gonna make it, bro.
You're not
gonna make it. It's point blank. You just have to take it for what it is. You can read it, you understand what they're saying, and if you feel like it's wrong, that should make you go right back into the lab and make a better game.
Yeah,
that's all. I mean, there's nothing else behind that. I mean, he didn't do himself any favors by doing what he did. Because trust me, there's people out there who are curious. They're probably not even on Twitter like that to be posting. They might be on Twitter to just look, and they probably was kind of curious about the game, and they see that, and they're like, you know what? I'm not gonna spend my money.
I definitely put that in my notes of what not to do when I read a review of my album.
Right, exactly. I mean, I have people, thank God, nobody said anything bad about our podcast yet. I know it may be coming outside of, I'm not even gonna say his name. He don't count. People may say what they want to say about our podcast, but for the most part, it's just been positive. But if it does come off negative, I'll be like, all right, thanks and have a nice day. I'm not gonna go after them.
Thanks for your input.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, here's another thing. There is a Q&A on Tuesday.
Right.
Ask first. We'll start using the hashtag. If you have some criticism, how about you show up and speak up?
Know. Right. Just
show up and speak up or shut up.
Well, and you know what? The biggest part of what the dude said that really kind of stuck in my craw was my DMs are always open and he never hit up our DM. First off, nobody has to fucking hit you up to make a review of the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Who the fuck got to message you to make a review of the game? For what?
That's exactly why I made I didn't even make a review. I just said what was on my mind about the game and call it a day.
His job is to tell the truth about his opinions about a game. He reviews the game. He don't got to DM you about shit.
And then if you also look at the fact that all his reviews are titled pretty much the same: the good, the bad.
Yes.
So it just a lack of research. A Google search would have taken care of that.
They tried to make it seem like the entire. I read the article. He made it seem like the entire review was just bash Maximum. I don't think anybody gets anything out of bashing Maximum Football. They're not a big enough entity for, somebody to get clout off of bashing them. I mean, come on.
Wow, that's man, that's a tough pill to swallow in NA. I don't know if I can agree with that.
I didn't play it, so I can't call it.
He said people took a huge shot on Doug Williams' college football game, and that's a lot better than Maximum.
I didn't play that shit.
Oh, I don't know about that, man.
I didn't play it, but from what I saw, that game was garbage.
They might be neck and neck, but I ain't gonna say one is better than the other.
Well, you got a certain content creator out here that says you can't just watch Maximum Football and tell that it's ass. You have to actually play it, or your opinion's not respected. So, once he starts live streaming opinions like that, maybe I'll pay attention. But
oh man, Doug Williams was bad. They might be on the same plane. Because Doug Williams was a terrible game, man.
And
at least with Axis football, the passing trajectories are better. Yeah, you might be right. I might have to pick that up just for a collectible.
Cardinals just took a big lead on the Braves.
Yeah, I just saw that. Anything else y'all got with the podcast for?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Oh, we gotta do our picks. We do have to do that.
What?
We already did our picks.
I mean, not the picks, but the results. I'm sorry, the results.
Oh yeah, today was the results day.
Yeah, we gotta do the results.
Oh shit, we didn't do that. We did that.
I thought we did them on Tuesday.
We did
the results.
Okay, we did.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I was about to say because I was the one that suggested we do the results on Tuesday and we do our separate picks on.
You're right. Because I forgot about that. We did it. Okay. So
one thing I have to say, I'm amped up for the NBA season. I'm ready to see what some of these teams look like, especially as much as I'm playing 2K. I'm ready to see what these teams I'm playing with actually look like in real life, man.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm a Bulls fan. I want to see what they do.
I was beating their ass before with the Raptors, bro. Good God,
man.
Yeah, I want to see if they improve.
I'm waiting until 2K releases the rosters with the injuries because I definitely want to. I don't want to start my league until after they've implemented them.
Right.
Because I definitely want to see how the Wizards will do without John Wall. Because I've been playing with John Wall perfectly, and now apparently Jan Mahimi has strained Achilles. And IT has a broken thumb. So
that dude can't catch a break, right?
Oh, wait. That's what I brought up to you, DJ. That's what I brought up to you. The lighting, yeah. So I don't know what it is, but it seems like the lighting's different from last year. I thought they had it perfect last year, but now I look at it and I don't know if it looks like kind of dark in the arena or if I don't know. There's something about it is different. I don't know. What I've watched Washington
logo in the center.
No, it's like
because
the
lighting there last year neither.
The lighting just throws me off. I feel like the Wizards arena is literally like it's usually a bit brighter. I don't really know how to pinpoint it. I think last year they had it perfect.
I got a comment up front on the screen. I totally agree with it.
Maximum Football is a bad PS2 game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Sheesh. Game day bad.
Perfect example. That game plays that game plays a lot like Game Day. It really does.
That's what I was thinking. Game Day.
It plays a lot like Game Day. It really does. Yeah. So I totally.
Well, I'm definitely not buying it now.
What else y'all got for about 2K?
No, it was just the lighting. That was the only arena I could say the lighting. I don't know. For some reason, it just seemed kind of. I don't know. Last year, the lighting seemed a bit better, but maybe it's just me.
Okay. Anything you got, DJ?
I don't really have anything else. I know with this Braves game, it's overlapping the Nationals-Dodgers game, so I'm just waiting for this shit to get off the TV so I can watch my Nationals.
What the hell? What the hell Pooh doing on Twitter with a damn hoodie on in the goddamn gym? Y'all see that shit?
He says he's been going to Planet Fitness where the lunk alarm doesn't go off when a chick goes off at her man over whatever, but it goes off when someone's really working out.
I'm still trying to figure out what the hoodie is. What the hoodie
Where'd
is.
you see this at?
It's on his Twitter page. Why did he have a hoodie on in the gym? I just do I need to?
No, I get why, because heat burns calories more. So if you're insulated with the hood, because heat escapes from the head for the most.
Yeah, I would die if I do some shit like that.
Well, it's a tolerance thing. First of all, but then at the same time, it's just like having that like plastic suit that some people wear when they work out, and it just helps with burning calories. So I get it.
I get it. It just looks weird because he looks like he's not working out, but that's another issue.
Yeah, he just stopped for a moment just to be self-serving and take a picture of him.
But it also doesn't look like a workout hoodie, though. It looks like a
like just walking.
Well, there's no such thing as a workout hoodie.
Okay, well, DJ, this is what I'm saying. It's like a zip up that like
it looks like he just came from outside.
I'm just telling you because I've seen people coming. I'm just saying, in my 9.5 years working at a gym, I've seen people come in the most ridiculous things. To me, there's no such thing as a workout, whatever. I'm like, people come in and work out in jeans. It's whatever they feel comfortable in. I know there's some things that have functional purposes that others that don't make any sense, but hey.
I get it. I was just saying it just looked like he was walking to the store and said, let me go in this gym real quick.
Who looked like he about to walk to 7-Eleven.
Right, exactly.
Oh,
damn. All right, man. Anything else y'all got before we go? I mean, another successful episode, man.
Oh, that was a hell of a catch by Lockett. Doug Thomas just said, hell of a catch.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it will be interesting for those that are going to watch Press Start podcast without Erica. Apparently, that's some timing to quit the podcast after we made some dumbass comments about Hard Eight.
Well, I mean, hey, listen, keep your comments to my wife said she saw that too. My wife's like, it's time to just keep your comments to yourself because you know how that's going to play out.
The funny thing about that was that it was you're right. There was no need to even make anything comment about it because of the fact that people were on the podcast that normally were beefing were not beefing, and it seemed like they kind of squashed the beef. So it's just like, what's wrong with that?
Exactly. Why would you bring that energy when people are actually trying to come together?
Right.
Yeah. Listen, I have my 2 cents to say about people. I just keep it to myself. All I ask is don't try me. Just leave me alone, and it'll be cool. Because if I start speaking my mind, a lot of people be upset, and I'll just leave it at that. So, what you got, Bills? Before we go.
Nothing, honestly. Thank you for everybody that came out to the podcast tonight. It's always appreciated.
Yeah, we're actually doing pretty good, even though the NFL is on. We've been doing pretty good on Thursday since the season started.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to listen to Troy Aikman and Joe Buck?
Yeah, great. Just put the game on mute and listen to us.
All right. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Watch out for my single. I keep saying that, but
it's coming.
It's coming. As soon as this marketing team comes, my single's coming. But it's a work in progress. But I'm doing something outside of the sim community that's gonna be dope in a couple months. So just gotta stay tuned.
What's up with you, DJ?
I'm right now. Just see, did the Braves just hit a home run?
What?
Oh, it was a 2-run shot.
Oh, wow.
What? The Braves did what?
So it's now 7-5. And I think it's in the bottom of the 9th, so they better pull through or
the Cardinals on.
Cardinals on 7-5. Okay.
Yeah, it's 7-5. But not much is going on. You guys can find me on Twitter, DJ81. Thank you guys for coming to the show. And also coming on Tuesday, since we are doing this twice a week. So greatly appreciate it. And that's all I got.
Yeah. All right. Before I go, purchase
boy.
the intro champ. You know where to go. Link is down in the description.
Well, we know who's not purchasing intro champ.
Yeah, we know who's not purchasing it, and I can care less. You know, I wish that person would purchase an intro. I want to see what videos he will actually make. And somebody can send me the video because I'm not clicking on his channel. But anyway,
it's not like me and Bill are getting anything from it anyway. So
come through and click the link in the description and see what kind of intros you like. You can use it for your live streams or your videos. And if you do purchase something off that link, we get a kickback. I haven't got many, but the ones that are there, it helps. And
by we, he means me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what? I'm not going to go here with you guys. I'm not gonna go
hey man,
that PayPal link.
Hey. Oh, and Pooh, I hope you're still in here. Don't think I didn't see that fucking comment that you put up before talking about $40 the Redskins win. I'll send you my Cash App. We'll see about that. Oh God, Jared Goff's got destroyed. But yeah, purchase your intros at Intro Champ, and hopefully the money's going to KB3 because it sure as hell ain't going to us. And yeah, I don't got nothing else.
All right, man. Thursday.
And Jared Goff sucks.
All right, we're going back to we're gonna see y'all again.
Dirty as hell.
We're gonna see y'all on Tuesdays, man. We're gonna do our pick.
The whole entire game.
Well, we're gonna do our results from the picks, and we're gonna have a little more gaming topics outside of sports. And hope you guys come through. Also, definitely a Q&A. Bring your questions, so we'll talk about them. And basically, you guys somewhat make the topic of the show on Tuesday. So, any questions y'all got, think of them. You got 3-4 days, and we'll talk about them then. Until then, you know what to do. iTunes, SoundCloud, if you want to listen to us again, or you can just come back to this YouTube video and listen to us on all three ways if you want to. So next time, see you guys on Tuesday. Peace.
And we'll be back next Tuesday with more content.
Sure will.
Peace.
Breakdown at the breakdown.
Dodgers are 1-0 already.
Mental breakdown, football